One single salty tear is all they'll ever suck out of this crybaby.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 oldest actors to play teens in movies.
Where the hell have you been? Do you know what time it is?
Get in, loser. We're going shopping.
Well, go on. Open it.
For this list, we're looking at actors who were far too old to be playing teenagers, but who did so anyway. At what age do you draw the line for actors playing teenagers? Let us know in the comments below. Number 20, Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid.
Hey, pretty good, huh? Look at this, Mr. Miyagi.
We don't know if we'd call a 22-year-old a kid, but whatever. The Karate Kid is one of the most famous movies from the 80s, and it stars Ralph Macchio as the Karate Kid himself, Daniel LaRusso.
Wax on, wax off.
It's established in the film that Daniel is 17 years old. Filming of the movie commenced on Halloween 1983 and wrapped the following December. Macchio was born on November 4th, 1961, meaning he turned 22 just after filming began. That's only a 5-year difference, but when it means the difference between high school graduation and college graduation, it's quite a bit. Number 19, Johnny Depp, Crybaby.
Hi, kids. Remember, always look both ways before crossing.
Mother!
Johnny Depp was playing teenagers back in 1984 when he starred in A Nightmare on Elm Street. 6 years later, he was still playing teens. 1990 saw the release of the cult classic John Waters film Crybaby, which sees Depp playing the teenage rebel leader of a local greaser gang.
Crybaby wants some hooch.
I don't drink and drive.
Crybaby premiered in Baltimore in March 1990 before receiving a wide release the following month. Depp was born in June of 1963, meaning he was just 2 months shy of his 27th birthday when the movie released wide. Playing a teenager in your early 20s is one thing, but Depp was closer to 30 than 20.
One single salty tear is all they'll ever suck out of this crybaby.
Number 18, Jennifer Grey, Dirty Dancing.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Jennifer Grey enjoyed a stellar 1-2 punch in the mid-80s, with Ferris Bueller's Day Off in 1986 and Dirty Dancing in 1987. The latter was particularly successful, grossing about 3 times as much as Ferris Bueller. The movie was filmed in both Virginia and North Carolina throughout the fall of 1986. Jennifer Grey was born on March 26, 1960, making her 26 years old throughout filming. Baby is due to start college in the movie, meaning she's around 17 or 18, making Grey nearly a full decade older than her on-screen character. Number 17, Sean Patrick Thomas, Save the Last Dance. When Julia Stiles played 17-year-old Sarah Johnson in Save the Last Dance, she actually was a teenager.
Yeah, that's part of it.
That's all of it.
Born March 28, 1981, she was 19 at the time. But that wasn't the case for her co-star Sean Patrick Thomas, who played a high school senior and college hopeful named Derek Reynolds.
Lesson 1. All right, now, see, hip-hop, it's more than just like a dance, it's more like an attitude,
Born on December 17, 1970, Thomas had just turned 30 when the movie was released on January 12, 2001. We don't know if anyone bought him as a high school senior, but either way, that is one major age discrepancy.
You are the one that's gonna have to make the dream come true.
Number 16, Rachel True, The Craft.
You guys, it's not working.
Released in May of 1996, The Craft follows a group of outcast high school students who begin to experiment with witchcraft. And the film contains a certifiable who's who of mid-90s stars, including Skeet Ulrich, Neve Campbell, and Fairuza Balk. Also starring in the movie is Rachel True as Rochelle Zimmerman, an African-American student who's bullied by the popular white girls.
I drink of my sisters, and I ask for the ability to not hate those who hate me.
True was born on November 15, 1966, making her 29 years old when The Craft was released in May 1996. She was by far the oldest member of the core cast. Upon the movie's premiere, Robin Tunney was 23, Campbell was 22, and Balk was 21, albeit just a few weeks away from turning 22.
How's it going?
Fine.
Number 15, Kevin Bacon, Footloose.
Never, 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 ever hide your heart.
Along Along with Dirty Dancing, Footloose was the big dancing movie craze of the 1980s. It stars Kevin Bacon as a hip teenager named Ren McCormick. Ren is from Chicago, and when he moves to the rural town of Beaumont with his mother, he attempts to overrule the local minister's ban on both dancing and rock music.
So you really can't dance here, man? I can't believe that. It's true.
Filming took place around Utah throughout much of the latter half of 1983 before the movie was released in February of '84. Star Kevin Bacon was born on July 8, 1958, and he turned 25 years old shortly after filming commenced in May of 1983.
Hey, it's Mr. Dance Fever.
Yeah, you're a goddamn hero when it's 5-1.
Number 14, Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future Part 3.
Pretty heavy, huh?
Michael J. Fox is awesome, and he was spectacular as Marty McFly, but he was kinda pushing believability by the end. Fox was born on June 9, 1961, meaning he had just turned 24 when the first Back to the Future was released in July of 1985.
Look at my birthday, for crying out loud. I haven't even been born yet.
Back to the Future Part 3 came out 5 years later, but Marty remained the same age. The third movie was released on May 25, 1990, just a few short weeks before Fox's 29th birthday. Imagining a mid-20s Fox as a high school student was easy enough, but things started to get a little tricky once he was pushing 30.
Hey, Doc! Where you going now? Back to the future?
Number 13, Patrick Swayze, The Outsiders.
You know, you ain't looking so good. You're too tensed up all the time, you know?
Come on, Barry. Let him fight, man. Everyone's tensed up for a rumble.
Based on S.E. Hinton's iconic novel of the same name, The Outsiders follows a group of teenage greasers in mid-60s Oklahoma. At the heart of the story is a young boy named Ponyboy Curtis, and his protective older brother Derry is played by Patrick Swayze.
What's wrong?
Swayze was born on August 18, 1952. The Outsiders was filmed from March to May 1982, making Swayze 30 years old throughout principal photography and 31 when the movie was released in March of 1983. At least that sort of made the tough older brother angle convincing.
Where the hell have you been? Do you know what time it is?
Number 12, Gabrielle Union, Bring It On.
You want to make it right? Then when you go to nationals, bring it. Don't slack off because you feel sorry for us. That way, when we beat you, we'll know it's because we're better.
This cult classic comedy follows a Californian cheerleading team, the San Diego Toros, as they compete against their rivals, the East Compton Clovers. Leading the Toros is Torrance Shipman, played by Kirsten Dunst. And leading the Clovers is Isis, played by Gabrielle Union.
Look, me and my squad made it to the big show without any of your help. I think we can handle it.
The movie was released on August 25, 2000, a few months after Dunst turned 18. However, Gabrielle Union was born in October of 1972, meaning she was just a couple of months shy of her 28th birthday. In reality, these two high school cheerleaders are a decade apart in age.
Hey, I just want to say, captain to captain, I respect what you guys did out there. You guys were good.
Thanks. You were better.
We were, huh?
Number 11, Shirley Henderson, the Harry Potter franchise.
Don't ask me. Here I am, minding my own business, and someone thinks it's funny to throw a book at me.
According to the Harry Potter wiki, Myrtle Warren, or Moaning Myrtle as her ghost would later be known, was just 14 years old when she was killed by the basilisk. In the film, Myrtle is played by actress Shirley Henderson.
I was just sitting in the U-bend thinking about death. Oh, and it fell through the top of my head.
Henderson was born on November 24, 1965, and Chamber of Secrets began filming on November 19, 2001. This means that the squeaky-voiced 14-year-old we see in the film is actually a 36-year-old woman. Things get even weirder in Goblet of Fire, as a near 40-year-old Henderson was hitting on the 15-year-old Daniel Radcliffe.
Well, go on. Open it.
Number 10, Denise Richards, Wild Things.
So where's your hose, Mr. Lombardo?
In a film about sex crimes and sexy times, it was a deceptive high school student that ran the show. And given the provocative nature of John McNaughton's erotic thriller, it became increasingly clear that a then unknown Denise Richards was a couple of years removed from senior prom.
Can I play too? Or is it just for boys?
In fact, she was 27 years old at the time of the film's release. Playing the overtly sexualized Kelly Van Ryan, Richards steamed up the screen, as the plot revealed much more than just the character's love affair and scheming behavior. Number 9. Sissy Spacek Carrie.
I'm going, Mama. And things are gonna change around here.
By the time Brian De Palma's iconic horror film reached theaters, his lead actress was just shy of her 27th birthday, and perhaps best known for her role in the 1973 film Badlands.
How's he doing?
I got him in the stomach.
Is he upset?
But after Sissy Spacek's frightening turn as the social outcast Carrie White, well, nobody could forget her blood-curdling screams, or even perhaps more so, her blood-drenched body. Blessed with a youthful presence and schooled in method acting at the famous Lee Strasberg's acting studio, Spacek stepped into the shoes of the strange puberty-stricken social outsider and effectively ravaged the psyches of frazzled moviegoers.
I'm going. You can't stop me.
Number 8. Winona Ryder, Girlinterrupted.
Maybe I was just crazy. Maybe it was the 60s. Or maybe I was just a girl. Interrupted.
While James Mangold's coming-of-age film featured a teenaged Elizabeth Moss long before her casting in Mad Men, the star of Girlinterrupted was already in her late 20s and at the pinnacle of her career when she booked the role.
Maybe everyone out there is a liar. And maybe the whole world is stupid and ignorant. But I'd rather be in it.
Although years older than her on-screen counterpart, Winona Ryder's pristine appearance made her the ideal choice to play a disturbed, yet talented 18-year-old Susanna Kaysen, the real-life woman on whom the film was based.
I'm feeling depressed.
I haven't exactly been a ball of joy, Melvin.
With a young Angelina Jolie coming into her own, Girlinterrupted was an important film for Hollywood leading ladies, but also reminded us of Ryder's timeless movie star charisma.
Is that it?
Number 7. Judd Nelson, The Breakfast Club.
Eat my shorts.
Today, John Bender may seem like an over-the-top outcast to some. However, back in the mid-'80s, he was the prototypical high school rebel that challenged his fellow Breakfast Clubbers to think outside the box. The man behind this whacked-out persona was a 25-year-old Judd Nelson, in what was just his 3rd feature film.
Nothing to do when you're locked in a vacancy.
Speak for yourself.
Do you think I'd speak for you? I don't even know your language.
He would soon become associated with Hollywood's Brat Pack, but in The Breakfast Club, Nelson managed to combine a sense of James Dean cool with an intellect that made John Bender wise beyond his years. And that's because it was the truth.
Being bad feels pretty good. Huh?
Number 6. Stacey Dash, Clueless.
Would you call me selfish? No, not to your face.
10 years after appearing as Denise's friend in The Cosby Show, Stacey Dash once again played a high school student, albeit in less organic fashion, as she was 28 by the time the film hit theaters.
Woman, why don't you be answering any of my pages?
I hate when you call me woman.
Where you been all weekend? What's up? You jeeping behind my back?
Even so, the character of Dion Davenport boasted a knack for both the Vogue and Valley Girl slang, all the while etching herself into the memories of admiring moviegoers.
So?
Shopping with Dr. Seuss?
Well, at least I wouldn't skin a collie to make my backpack.
Number 5. Andrew Garfield, The Amazing Spider-Man.
You a cop?
Really? You seriously think I'm a cop?
When Andrew Garfield was cast as your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, North Americans scratched their heads and tried to figure out where exactly they'd seen him.
Hey, it's Peter, right?
Oh yeah, he was Eduardo Saverin from The Social Network.
You have no idea what that's gonna mean to my father.
A natural selection for the superhero film. However, at 27 years of age when filming began, Garfield had accumulated the necessary skills to exude the youthful charm and composure of one teenaged Peter Parker, while crawling his way directly to the bank. Just as Tobey Maguire did when tackling the role at 26 years of age for the 2002 film.
You know who I am.
I do.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Number 4. Rachel McAdams, Mean Girls.
Get in, loser, we're going shopping.
The same year she made audiences weep thanks to The Notebook, Rachel McAdams first appeared in another cult classic playing Regina George, the supreme diva of the clique known as the Plastics.
You're like really pretty. Thank you. So you agree? What? You think you're really pretty?
At 25 years of age, McAdams channeled her inner sass to corrupt a new arrival, and she was quite convincing as the blonde princess.
No, she thinks she's gonna have a party and not invite me? Who does she think she is?
You're right, hon.
I like invented her, you know what I mean?
By 2004, it had been a couple of years since McAdams had made her big screen debut, but it was Mean Girls that established McAdams as one of the emerging badass talents of the decade.
I know, right?
Number 3. Leonardo DiCaprio, Catch Me If You Can.
My name is Frank Taylor. I'm a co-pilot for Pan Am. I'd like to cash this check here, and then I'd like to take you out for a steak dinner.
By 2002, Leonardo DiCaprio had entered the Scorsesean phase of his career, even if the world still viewed him as the pretty boy actor from Titanic.
I'm the king of the world!
To mark the beginning of a new era, the 28-year-old gave moviegoers 2 cinematic gifts, Gangs of New York and Catch Me If You Can. The latter a collaboration with Steven Spielberg, in which he played a teenage con artist.
But the jump seat is open.
You know, it's been a while since I've done this. Which one's the jump seat again?
With prior Too Old to Be a Teenager experience in The Basketball Diaries, DiCaprio managed to capture the same sense of unflappable, ignorant wonder in his role as real-life Frank Abagnale Jr.
Merry Christmas!
Number 2. Alan Ruck, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
What'd I do?
Matthew Broderick functioned as the obvious driving force behind Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but it was his depressive best friend that offered a healthy amount of comic relief.
If you're not over here in 15 minutes, you can find a new best friend.
You've been saying that since the 5th grade.
About to turn 30 years old at the time of the film's premiere, Alan Ruck sported a clean-cut look and donned a Detroit Red Wings jersey to capture the essence of Cameron Fry, who was a kid dominated by fear and unaware of his true independence.
Look, don't ask me to participate in your stupid crap if you don't like the way I do it.
Life moves pretty fast in Hollywood, and despite this only being his 3rd feature, Ruck stood his ground alongside a truly iconic performance.
Ferris Bueller, you're my hero.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Stockard Channing and the whole cast, Grease.
That's ancient history.
Well, history sometimes repeats itself.
No one in this film is exactly the picture of youth, but some cast members are a bit more suspect than others as high school students. When production began on Grease in 1977, John Travolta was on the younger side at 23 years old, while Olivia Newton-John was 28. The T-Birds' ages ranged from Kelly Ward, who was 20, to 31-year-old Michael Tucci.
Aren't you supposed to be in homeroom right now?
I was just going for a walk.
Jan actress Jamie Donnelly, who was in her early 30s during shooting, had to dye her hair to hide the grays.
Looking pretty good this year, huh, Riz?
But fellow Pink Lady Stockard Channing was the eldest at age 33.
That's the one I was telling you about.
Regardless of age, Stockard Channing really used her maturity to her advantage to portray a multifaceted character.
There are worse things I could do than go with a boy or two.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.